Okay, we're moving on to the support Pokemon, and we're on grass. So we have Execute, Virizion, Plasma Leafeon, Excelgor, Amoonguss, Credilli for the stage 2 support. Roserade, I really like that card. Victory Bell for the poison. Vileplume for the ×4 weakness, if you can try to make that. I haven't gotten it to work yet, but it seems like it would be cool, getting one-hit knockouts. And then Shift Tree to be able to draw cards. Alright. Okay, so now we're moving on to Fire. We have Reshiram, Victini, the Victory Star one, for any of the X's that have to flip. Normally none of the support Pokemon have to flip, so Plasma Flareon, Pyroar, Magmortar, Ninetales with the Bright Look, and Hex Flame. Ninetales with the Barrier Shrine, so that way you can't switch out stadiums. Stage 2s, we have Delphox, Chandelure, and Emboar. The reason why we have 2 Chandelures, and you'll see later when we get to the Psychic, we also have the Psychic one, is it's a lot easier to have 3 than it is to have 1 stage 2 in the cube, and usually I try to get 2 of the same Pokemon for stage 2. Try to anyhow, but if they don't print any good ones, then I can't. So we have 3 Chandelures, obviously. So yeah. Alright, moving on to water. We have Kyurem, the Plasma Kyurem, Normal Kyurem with Outrage, Suicune with Safeguard, Manaphy, Plasma Vaporeon, Milotic. We're trying the half art of those 2 Aurorus, and then moving on to Politoed, Poliwrath, and a bunch of awkward stage 2s, but they're really powerful. Swampert, Greninja, Empoleon, and Blastoise. Really, you could just build a water deck in the cube, and it's usually just pretty good because of the Blastoise, but if you don't get the Blastoise, it's kind of awkward running anything else. Alright, moving on. Alright, on to Lightning type. Zekrom, Mulga, Zapdos, Raichu, Electric, Plasma Jolteon, Electivire, and Electrode. The reason why the evolutions in Plasma is because Plasma has a lot more support, and they're just really good. Drafting all of them, you get extra EVs, and it just turns out to be a really good deck. Alright, moving on. Alright, to fighting, we have Holucha, Landorus, Sock, Stunfisk, Terrakion, Landorus. We have Medicham, Lucario, Tyrantrum, and Monchamp. There isn't very many that we can use for fighting types, so this is what I came up with. And okay, so we're moving on to Psychic. We have Sigilith, Safeguard, Sigilith 2 blocks, Mr. Mime, which blocks bench damage. We have Plasma Espeon, Meowstick, Hypno, Garbodor, Trevenant, Crobat, like I said, they're easier to draft. Chandelure, Nidoqueen, it's kind of awkward. Gordevoir, Gallade, those 2 work awesome together. And then Dusknoir and Dusknoir, those 2 work awesome together. It just moves around a whole bunch of damage counters on both sides if you have both. But that's the Psychic. Alright, moving on to Dragon. Sorry if it seems like I'm moving fast, but I just want to try and get through this. Rayquaza, Black Kyurem, Druddigon. We have Noivern, Dryalgae, Altaria, Flygon, Hydreigon, Garchomp, Goodra, Kingdra, and Kingdra. Like I said, more more doubles that there are for stage 2, the easier they are to play. Alright, so now we have Dark, Absol, Yveltal, Spiritomb, Sableye, Liepard, Zoroark, those two work awesome together, and then the Umbreon, which just helps the Plasma EVs out extremely. Really, if you build a Dark deck, you're sitting pretty in the cube. Alright, moving on. Alright, so we have Metal now with Cobalion, Klefki, Excadrill, Bronzong, Doublade, Scizor, Klinklang. They're really just meant for the metal deck, but if you can draft Klinklang and be able to switch around energy everywhere, it's just awesome. Alright, moving on to Fairy. Like I said, Fairy's been getting a lot of help recently. So we have Xerneas, Mr. Mime, Klefki, Carbink, Slurpuff, Aromatisse, Clefable, Azumarill, and Florges. Sorry if I mispronounce anything. I just try to pronounce them as best as I can. Moving on. Alright, so now we have Colorless with Boufflant, Snorlax, Miltank, Clefable, Cinccino, and Raticate. You notice that I had two of Clefables in here, the fairy one and a normal one. You can draft both and then play them in the same deck and evolve one from the other, and it works out nicely that way. Alright. And that's it for support Pokemon. So next we're going to do supporters, and you'll see how I do supporters in here.